Bine v-am regăsit, prieteni, fermieri, amatori de agricultură sau doar simpli privitori care apreciază tot ce este bine făcut, aici pe plaiuri mioritice. Sunt Ramona Pandele și mă bucur să vă fiu iarăși gazdă la o nouă ediție a emisiunii AGRO Magazin.
Rahul Shrivastava was a dreamer who believed in pursuing the impossible. Driven by his can-do spirit, UPL began as a startup in a small town Vapi in 1969. Back then, manufacturing red phosphorus in India was considered an impossibility. Import was the only option. UPL took on this challenge and produced the first indigenous red phosphorus in India and got awarded the President's Gold Seal for this research and development. In 1975, UPL ventured into the export market and soon in 1990 received the award as the top exporter, a spree that continues till date. Within 2 decades of its establishment, it went public and got listed on the NSE and BSE. Having secured a leadership position in India, UPL was now ready to make its presence felt on the global stage. Global CEO Jay Shroff led this ambitious journey, ably partnered by its top management. 1994 marked UPL's first international acquisition. This was followed by several other acquisitions. Set up overseas subsidiaries, acquired companies and products, entered new sectors and businesses, and rapidly expanded its global footprint. The farmer is the most important stakeholder in the UPL ecosystem, which led to design a number of farmer engagement initiatives to assist farmers in tackling their everyday issues. This desire to benefit the farmer comes all the way from the top. UPL leaders have been recognized by the industry in India and overseas. This innovative spirit has taken UPL places. It is the first crop protection company to be a part of the bellwether index Nifty 50 and ranks 5th amongst crop protection companies worldwide. With the revenue clocking $4.7 billion in 2018-19, presence in 130 plus countries, 48 manufacturing facilities around the globe, and access to 90% of the global market, UPL strives not just for the business, but for the world at large, undertaking multiple initiatives to strengthen communities. UPL is actively involved in a number of initiatives covering sustainability, food security, and climate resilience. The company constantly strives to reduce its environmental footprint across the value chain. Above all, it takes every effort to create a safe and injury-free working environment for all its employees, both permanent and contractual. 2019 is UPL's 50th year, and the company hasn't lost any of that startup enthusiasm with which it began in 1969. It's not just a new story, but a whole new identity. An identity that revolves around an agile agricultural network that brings together all the stakeholders and is open to new ideas, new ways, and new answers. The future is UPL.
Astăzi, prieteni, este o ediție specială a emisiunii și mai exact este prima ediție dintr-o serie de emisiuni speciale pe care le dedic relațiilor internaționale ale României. Fie că vorbim de politică, turism, cultură sau agricultură, țara noastră a cultivat și a dezvoltat de-a lungul anilor importante parteneriate internaționale și nu e o noutate că România este un valoros partener strategic nu doar în Europa, ci la nivel mondial în vari domenii. Pentru că suntem la AGRO Magazin, astăzi vă prezint unul dintre cei mai apreciați parteneri ai noștri din domeniul agricol și nu este singurul palier pe care lucrăm bine împreună. Anul acesta se împlinesc mai exact 75 de ani de relații diplomatice dintre România și India. Așadar, am deosebită plăcere și onoare să fiu gazdă în ediția de astăzi pentru excelența sa, ambasadorul Indiei la București. Vă invit să-l urmărim într-un amplu interviu acordat în exclusivitate pentru AGRO TV și realizat de colegul meu Bogdan Tudor.
India ranks first in the world with highest and net crop area and the second worldwide in farm outputs. Now there are a lot of challenges about weather, about cropping, about land, the ownership of the land and the fertilizer, etc., irrigation. How it is in India about this?
Yes, before I go into what challenges the Indian agriculture faces, I thought which you also mentioned, in terms of agriculture, India is a very important country. And when we got our independence in 1947, we were primarily an agriculture country, and most of our GDP came through agriculture. But still, even now, in terms of number of employed people, agriculture is still the highest in India because it employs more than 50% of the people. So that's the significant. Although the amount that it contributes to the GDP has come down, we are a huge country, 1.4 billion people almost. Nevertheless, we are food sufficient. We also export a lot, and that has been growing. In terms of figures, I would say in some of the agriculture produce, so for example, pulses, we are number one in the world. Milk producer, we are the biggest in the world. Then we are also the second largest producers in several of the crops, for example, rice, wheat, sugar cane, tea, lots of
products.
Fruits, vegetables also, we are the second largest in the world. So we continue to be a very strong agricultural country. But nevertheless, yes, we have several challenges, and the challenges are many, but I'll mention some of the challenges. The first challenge that we face is what the world is facing. It's with climate change, because the climate is changing everywhere. So too in India,
the temperature rises.
Exactly, the temperature. Exactly. So and when that happens, then you have loss of crop. So the production goes down. So that is one challenge that we face. The other related to again climate is agricultural waste management, because in India we have two kinds of crops. We call them Rabi and Kharif primarily. So Rabi crop is the one which grows in winters, and Kharif is what grows in summer. So between those two crops, the time is very short. So if you have to prepare the field, the crop for the next crop, then you have to take out whatever is there. So the cheapest method is burning. And that happens.
Then is permitted to burning there?
No, it's not permitted.
It's not permitted.
It's not permitted, but the poor farmers, they don't have access to technology. So what do? Although the government has been trying to change this, but still it is a problem, especially in the months of November. I remember in Delhi, if you go to Delhi at that point of time, the pollution level increases because the crop burning happens. So that's one area we are looking at how to manage. The third, I would say, is although the number of farm holdings has increased, the total area that is under farming is almost the same, which means the farm holdings have become smaller. And when they become smaller, how do you use technology? How do you get better irrigation technology there? How do you use the area for crop storage? So this is another challenge that we are facing. What else? Related to, again, what I mentioned about climate change, Indian agriculture, although we are using a lot of technology now, but still the small farmers are dependent on the rain. And if the monsoon happens well, you have a good farm output. If it doesn't happen well, then the agriculture output goes down.
They don't have the possibility to make irrigation.
Not everyone. So still we have a lot of small size farmers. Not everyone is able to use irrigation. The government has done lots of things in this way, but still the small farmers are still dependent on rain. So
in this moment, the number of small farmers is versus the world?
The big farmers.
The big farmers.
The small numbers, I don't have the exact numbers, but the small farmers are in majority. When I say that over 50, it's actually 58% of the employment is generated.
And what kind of area they cropping? They use it in their farms. How many hectares approximately the smaller farmer?
Smaller farm would be not in terms of hectares, it would be in acres.
In acres?
It would be in acres, maybe
yes,
1 acre, 2 acre, that is the size, yes. It might be even smaller. So
smaller?
Yeah, it's very small, not hectares. If someone has got hectares, I would not call a small farmer in India. Yeah, it's quite a medium size.
Listen, for that reason, India must think about the measures and what the agriculture politics they made it for increase the production, to assure for the farmers all the legal measure to do a good agriculture. For that reason, what are the measures to raise the production and the others, the agriculture for India? That means the agriculture policy.
Yes. In India, we have a system whereby we have division between the center and the states, like it happens in Romania. Here it's less. But in India, we have 3 kinds of list. We call the national, the central list, we have the state list, and concurrent, which is for both. So both at the state level and mostly at the national level, the government of India runs various schemes and programs for the agriculture sector. And mentioning about schemes, there are several, but then I would mention 2 to just give an example of what kind of schemes are run. One is called the National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. So it's self-descriptive.
The name is
the name itself tells what it is about. The second, which was recently started by the government, is a digital mission on agriculture, meaning how to use IT, artificial intelligence.
You have a lot of good ITs there in India.
So how to use
we
that.
know it.
Exactly. We are using also the private partners. There are many startups which have come out. So how
they are involved? They involve?
Exactly. Yes, the government involves them. Is whether artificial intelligence, whether it is blockchain, whether using drones, the new IT power to increase output. So these are 2 missions that I would like to mention. Apart from that, the government also runs various schemes. For example, we have a scheme. There are several, but then again, one scheme which is called the Prime Minister Fasal Bima Yojana. Fasal Bima is insurance, crop insurance. So this is primarily to protect the small farmers.
They need it. Sometimes they need it.
Yes. Or we have what is called the Krishi Vigyan Kendra. Krishi is agriculture, Vigyan is science, Kendra is center. So these centers have been put in various places. And one innovation that the present government did was we have fertilizer centers everywhere for the small farmers. So earlier it was just fertilizers, giving fertilizers to farmers. But now these hubs have become the hubs for information to provide the small farmers and the farmers with new technologies. So a hub of information. These are some of the innovations that have happened. And the government is also very much encouraging both traditional and organic farming. So again, a program that I have it here, it's called Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, which is to increase organic farming in India.
Despite the fact that you must get food for many peoples, you know, in organic the productions are smaller than in normal production, you know. But you must have a balance here.
Yes, that's true. One day we can't say that, okay, we'll stop all non-organic farming, because you have to also see, as you said, the output is also important. But at the same time, one does understand that if you're only using fertilizers, chemical fertilizers or pesticides, that's not the best quality that you get. That's understandable. So that is why government encourages. And because we are a huge country, and as I mentioned, sometimes this supply chain is a problem. So this government in the last couple of years, they came up with a program called Krishi Udan. Udan is flying. So Krishi Udan, this program is now in the second stage, primarily to even reach the far-flung regions where you can transport by flight. So that's one thing that they have started. The drones, there's a Kisan drones for farmers. Kisan is farmers. So farmer drone for crop assessment, digitalization of records, spraying of insecticides, nutrients. I'm sure that is happening in many parts of the world. And finally, I would like to mention about one program which is not just for agriculture or a specific sector. It's called PLI, so production linked incentive, meaning if you produce more, you are doing well, you get some incentives. So for the food processing sector, the government has this PLI system. They have also implemented for food processing. So that if there is
indeed. Now I understand a lot of these programs that you have, that Indian authorities help the farmers to improve their farms, to improve the quality of the crops, to improve the I don't know, maybe sometimes they have a lot of people to work there. Here in Romania we have problems with the guys to work in the farms. We don't have too much because they don't want to work. There you have enough people to work in the farms?
In some ways, both yes and no. Yes, because as I said, still we employ about 58% of the people, which means there are people who are, majority of it, employed people in India are working in the agriculture sector. So that way the numbers are huge in there. But like in many countries, and in India also, urbanization is increasing. And we have this problem with the younger generation wanting to shift to, that's obvious because they are looking for greater opportunities. They can't be small farmers, can't generate a lot of income. So the next generation, when they have got education, they're educated, they say that why shouldn't we utilize our skills properly outside. But I think we are able to manage that because if you're using technology, even if the numbers come down, you're able to give more output.
They surpass the...
Yeah, but I wouldn't say the problem is as big as in, say, Romania, because your situation is really very serious in terms of people. In India, not so much.
For that reason, I ask you because also I understand that there are many programs, like I've said earlier, that works for farmers, made by Indian government. But also we must make a comparison between agriculture in India and agriculture in Romania. Because here in Romania, in the last time, we start to associate one with each other and to make cooperatives.
Yes.
For that reason, to work together, the fields. And it is also in India, this, I don't know...
Cooperatives. Yes, it's an old concept, but it's still there because the farmers have to be together to be able to... So every place you go, you'll find cooperatives. That's there. But we also have farmers directly trading, so it's their choice. But I find that, yes, farmers also prefer cooperative because it provides them the advantage of being together.
Another thing that I must mention to you, and you know it, because in Romania, for the inputs companies, there are a lot of Indian companies, multinational, very strong companies that are here. I don't mention the names, but you know it. How do you consider that companies, it's easier to enter in the Romanian market to position in this area of inputs here in Romania? That companies talk with you sometimes, what are the possibilities here, that use your competence here to be in Romania for many years to be here?
Yes, there are some companies I know which are in food production and in a big farm, they have big farms here. But I haven't seen lots of requests where Indian companies want to. Maybe it's lack of information because there's an opportunity. But whoever is already here, I found that they have met with some success. Recently, some company, they also did some Guinness Book of World Record in terms of how much they could collect within 24 hours or maybe something a record time, something like that. So this was an Indian company which did in Romania. So whichever company is here, they are doing it successfully.
At the end, the last things that I ask for you, it's to give a message for Romanians and also for the companies, Indian companies in Romania, and also for the Indian peoples that are staying in Romania and working in Romania. And for that reason, I ask you to have a message from all of them.
Yes. Well, this year we celebrate the 75th anniversary of diplomatic relations between India and Romania. And
happy anniversary.
Yes, and to you also because it's a joint thing.
Indeed.
And this year we hope that we will have more visits, both political visits and also commercial visits. In culture, we keep on doing some events, but mostly in political and commercial, I hope we have more mutual visits. although we have a lot of Indian companies who are in Romania, and as you mentioned, also in the area of farming and agriculture, but there are not many companies from Romania in India. So through your channel, I would like to encourage them also, because India is the fastest big economy, fastest growing big economy, large economy. So there's a lot of opportunity for companies from Romania also in India.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank
you. For our part from AGRO TV, this year we have an anniversary also. We made 10 years.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you very much. And we wish you all the best. And maybe we will meet some companies that are here in Romania, and also maybe in the field. Who knows?
Sure.
We invite you anyway to see Romania with your eyes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Our planet faces challenges like never before. Soil health, water supply, food security, and of course, climate change. Agriculture, our deepest connection to the planet, must be part of the solution. Open Ag is an open network to reimagine sustainability for all. No limits, no borders. But sustainability means more than climate change. It means reducing agriculture's environmental impact, building the economic resilience of farmers, and ensuring food supply chains are secure. UPL is changing agriculture for the better on small and large farms around the world. With a farmer-first mindset and programs like Pronitiva that integrate conventional crop protection solutions and bios, farmers enjoy more yields with lower residues and increased profits. NPP is a world leader in biosolutions, collaborating with partners to meet the needs of farmers and protect our planet for future generations. Zeba's climate-smart technology acts like a sponge in the ground, so water is conserved and soil aerated even in the driest locations. Nurture Farm is a pioneering digital platform connecting the smallest of farms to the technology, finance, and buyers they need to thrive. Increasing the number of women working in agriculture, providing learning, independence, and empowerment. Our End the Burn campaign to stop stubble burning in India is making farming cleaner, so people can breathe a little easier. DECO works with food producers and local communities to improve food security and reduce post-harvest losses, helping to lower the third of food currently wasted globally. So there's more fresh food for everyone, everywhere. UPL's Gigaton Carbon Goal sees us bringing together farmers, the technologies and partnerships to remove 1 gigaton of CO2 from the atmosphere by 2040. So together, we can safeguard our future.
Sustainability must have real-world impact. It is our mission to reimagine sustainability in everything we do. It is the basis of every project we start, every process we design, and every business we launch.
Reimagining sustainability. Open Ag.
Am ajuns și la final. Acesta a fost agromagazinul de astăzi și sper că v-a plăcut întâlnirea noastră. Eu sunt Ramona Pandele și vă aștept și data viitoare să descoperim împreună cum facem pomul să înflorească și pământul să rodească. Până atunci vă doresc să aveți numai bine, sănătate și spor în toate!